Alright guys, this is going to be an under the hood, but first off, I want to go and say thank you for all those that have subscribed to me. I've reached over 100 subscribers now. To me, that's kind of a nice goal that I've now reached, and look forward to doing many more. And with any luck, as the weather gets better, I'll be able to start putting out more videos. So thank you for all those that have subscribed, and look forward to doing many more. In this Under the Hood is one I'm sure most all of you guys have probably been direly waiting to see and wanting me to do the most. That's why I've waited and done it last. This one is, of course, the Bat Revo. So, because this is actually going to be the first video where you guys are actually getting to see it off of or outside of the truck for the first time. I did do a video on the truck, and that was a kind of a POV video, so that's what you guys were able to see of that, was the POV on the truck, but you haven't been able to see the truck itself. So now you do finally get to see it. I know it kind of messes it up, but to give me that POV, I do have the GoPro mount up here, but fortunately with it being black, and I not having anything on it right now, it doesn't do too bad on the truck overall. But I do plan on redoing these logos, these bat logos on the side. I found some really nice ones. They actually look kind of three-dimensional, and so I think they look really good. I have to get some sticker paper and print those out and then get those put on there. It is still going to be the black and yellow like what this is, but it looks more three-dimensional, and so I think it looks a little bit better. So the body, which everybody tends to like, it actually came off of a Tyco 1/8 scale Monster Jam RC car. Funny story, I actually found 2 of them at my local dump. I was taking trash and I saw kind of a wing sitting off to the side, and I went and I checked it out, and there was one of them. And I looked a few feet away, and there was a second one that had not been destroyed or crushed yet. So needless to say, I grabbed them both up, and I do have both. And this one is actually the first one that I've done and put custom fit onto the Revo. And so it has been kind of my test bed to test to see how it's going to fit, how the truck's going to handle with it on there, and all that. Part of the reason why I did this one first is because this one actually has some damage right in here. It's broken and missing out. And then this side is also kind of faded off from the sun, which is why in most all the photos you see of this, they are from this side, is because of that reason. But the other body that I have, it's still in perfect shape. And so I will be going, and eventually I will be taking that body and customizing it to match what I've done with this that's worked good, and be putting that one on here. But I have gone through and kind of given it the silver accent details and stuff. Opened up the vents up here so that it will pull a little bit of air in to help with cooling the engine. The front of it's open so that get a little bit of cooling air through there to again help with cooling the engine a little bit. And then the back of it is just shaved down smooth open so that the airflow can go out as quickly as possible to help with cooling, so it doesn't overheat and toast the engine. Unfortunately, that makes it so I can't have the little jet thruster things off the back, but that's okay. That's where the exhaust pipe actually sticks out. So but anyways, if you're wondering, if you've noticed, this hole right here is actually so that I can stick the glow plug igniter in with the body on and start it that way. So that's what that is for. And that was actually one of the last modifications I did to the body so that I could run it. So on to the truck. It's actually not too awfully modified. It's actually a Revo 2.5R. I wouldn't mind eventually putting a 3.3 Traxxas engine into it. Again, I kind of like to keep things stock, but I like to beef them up so they're stronger. So I don't know if you can see, but here I have put a RPM head guard on the Traxxas TRX 2.5R racing engine. For the most, the engine, transmission, fuel system, they're all stock. Stock shocks, stock rockers, driveline is all stock on it. I have replaced the radio system, of course, with the Futaba 4 PLS. And I've replaced both the steering servos. It now has, they're right about 150 ounce per inch servos. They're the cheap ones, but they work really well on here. So it's running right about 300 or thereabouts ounce per inch of torque for the steering. And so it actually does quite well with that much. Also, with this being the 2.5R, it's actually shorter wheelbase than what the newer ones are. The newer ones, I want to say they're maybe an inch longer. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me. I know they are longer though, however. But this one is a little bit shorter wheelbase, and it actually worked out well for me because then it fits better, I think, with that body. Moving on though, I had to trim the body post to get the body to fit on here the way that it does. And so that's kind of a little bit of work in progress, but with what I've done, it still works good. Bumpers. These are, of course, RPM bumpers, front and rear. These are the silver material ones, so they're not chrome. I figured the silver ones were going to match better with a little bit of silver that was on the body, and so that was what I went with. RPM arms all the way around. Go ahead and flip it over. RPM arms all the way around, front and rear, and the rear is actually the RPM TrueTrack, so there are no links in here on the rear. It actually goes, you can see really well, off an H setup, kind of like what smaller monster trucks or like the Stampede and other ones like that might use. It goes off an H arm on the bottom so that it takes care of the toe angle for you on both sides. Aside from that, I have upgraded the receiver battery in here. It is actually running a 2-cell LiPo receiver battery, so tons of power, runs well, and one of the things I did with the Futaba 4 PLS was set it up so that once it gets down just below or just above its safe voltage for the LiPo, that it will cut the power down to, or the throttle down to 50%. And that's kind of my warning, hey, battery's getting low and it's time to stop running and charge the battery back up. I have an adapter that I've set up for my charger here so that I can run the Dean's plug on it and then plug in the balance port. I tend to balance my batteries virtually every time that I run, just to try to take better care of them than just throwing them on and letting them charge. So, alright, so on here, we light to the sides so it's not in the way. I actually put Traxxas Summit wheels on here because they're offset. So where it actually bolts in the center compared to the outer edge of the wheel, it's actually more this way to make it wider to help with stability, and that most of the newer ones, I believe they kind of have that already. Again, don't quote me, but I haven't seen too many issues with the newer ones having issues with rolling over. I went to this type mainly just because that body is a hard body. It's not Lexan, and I didn't want to completely obliterate it in one or two rollovers. So went ahead and made the truck a little bit wider using the Summit wheels, and then I went ahead and put the red bead locks on here to kind of highlight a little bit of the red, like what the red in the window is on the body, and so it kind of helps to tie that all together. I've done a little bit of detailing, painting on it. I like detailing and painting stuff, so that's what I've done. Let's see, these are still the stock Revo wheels at the time, the Talon tires. I like the way that they look, and because this truck is meant to be more of a speed type truck, to me they look like they were going to be good for going faster and looking like they're fast when it's standing still. Let's see, stock drive lines, everything is pretty well mostly stock on this. I wouldn't mind putting the long travel setup in here if I can. I don't know if I can with the RPM arms. I'd have to look. But anyways, yeah, it's honestly for the most pretty well stock. If you guys have any suggestions on some good durability or good speed boosts, then let me know. I had looked at one point about the RB Innovation supercharger and that, and I've talked to some other guys that know more about the Revo and the 2.5R and stuff, and they said that it's actually not really worth the money, worth trying to do it, and so I'm not bothering with that. I do plan on eventually getting the resonator pipe from Traxxas to go on here. It'll be the chrome pipe, and so I think it'll look a little bit better since there's the only blue is kind of the stock blue. And actually the stock blue on the chassis, I am actually planning on stripping this down to the chassis and oven cleaning the chassis itself to take it back to a silver color. And I'm thinking that might look pretty good. I'll do this, take it down, strip the anodizing off doing that, and then see how it looks being the silver. And if I don't like it, then I might go through and see about dyeing it black or plastic dipping it black or something along that line to put the chassis black on it. One of the things that I've done, I don't know if I mentioned it on my T-Max, the video that I just did, but on the T-Max and on here, basically on both the Nitro ones, I've put the shaft start on here, and because the shaft start on this has to come out to the side, it actually worked perfectly that I can have the shaft start in there, and with the body on, I don't know if you can see it, I can still access the shaft start. So I can go right in this way, get to that shaft start, and then with the glow plug heater going through the hole up here, I can start it without having to take the body off or having the body on and being able to start it in that. So still I take the body off to fuel up, which is okay because it'll run a little for a solid 20 minutes or so on a tank of fuel. One of the other things I've done is I did get this used, and so I did get some extra parts with it. I put the hardest springs on it that were available to me, that were given to me, and that was just because with the body being a hard plastic, it's a little bit heavier, and so it helps with the handling and that. Handling, it still gets good enough handling that it will still roll over on me, and it will actually do stoppies. And I've actually turned an ABS, anti-lock braking feature, onto my radio, so it will actually pulse the brake instead of just hitting and locking. It'll do pulse on me. Actually, let's see about showing that to you here real quick. Go the right way. So pretty commanding steering, I think. Again, that's right around the 300 ounce per inch mark. And then for the brake, have your normal throttle brake, and you can see it kind of pulsing. I think my light fell down, so hopefully you guys have been able to see this. Throttle, and then the brake pulsing, that's the ABS. So instead of just locking up the tires, it'll pulse the brakes in hopes that it'll keep it from endoing over. It still does. Part of that's because the short wheelbase, heavy body up high on it, it will do that. But it makes it fun, keeps it interesting. I have actually endoed it frontwards a couple times on accident. Actually, one of the times I did it was actually in the Bat Revo video that I do have posted on Facebook or YouTube already, and ended it, and that was kind of how I ended the video, was with that. But I don't have the reverse in here. I took it out just because lighten it up a little bit with having the little bit older, weaker 2.5R engine. Lighten it up a little bit. It still has the reverse gears in the transmission, but I've locked it into the front forward and then taken out the other servos and all that other stuff. Took out the OptiDrive and all that. So, anyways, so I know you guys were probably hoping there'd be a lot more modifications and stuff, which, who knows, down the road, maybe there will be. You guys leave me comments and suggestions on what I should get and what I should run under it, and I can see about maybe doing that. So, anyways, this has been a look under the hood of my Traxxas Bat Revo, and hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you guys would, and again, thank you for the 100 subscribers. We'll see you guys in the next video.